In the near distance, you see a man, though shadows obscure his features. A faint, guttural chittering emanates from a cage before him.
This is him. He can help me. He can... Ugh.
Lohse's eyes suddenly fill with inky blackness. Grey veins appear beneath her skin.
Walk away.
She shakes her head. Her color returns to normal.
I'm running out of time. I think that man is Jehan, the demonologist. I need to talk to him.
She throws up a salute and laughs low, but worry sparkles behind her eyes. She walks towards the mysterious figure, who turns towards her with narrowed eyes.
Keep your distance. I recognize that particular shade of darkness in your eyes. Why do you seek me?
You're Jehan, the demonologist. I heard you could help me. Please, I must be free of it.
Jahan stands back from her, his body tense. He stares into her eyes a long while, saying nothing.
I've heard about you, Lohse. You're the amalgam too hideous to contemplate. One who has a demon coiled around her god-woken heart. Its grip grows stronger by the hour. Its voice and yours become ever more indistinguishable until, ultimately, it's your voice no longer. But not just yet.
He walks toward her. They talk in low tones. Jahan's face is vivid, insistent. Lohse's is set in a determined frown.
Do as I say, Lohse. Hurry now. It won't be long.
They shake hands, Jahan clasping Lohse's hand in both of his.
You'll see. I'll be back before you know it. The Advocate doesn't stand a chance.
Lohse turns to you.
So, we have a job. It's like this. Jehan can help us. He can teach us how to control more Source, just like that. All we need to do is a little favor for him. There's a place to the north called Blood Moon Island. I guess it's been more or less lost to a demonic presence for some time now. There's a fellow there, goes by the Advocate, and our new pal Jehan would like to see him taken care of. We take care of that, and Jehan helps us control more Source. And after that, he may even be able to help exorcise what ails me. Sound good? Of course it does.
She turns away before you have time to answer.
Excuse me. You travel with Lohse, do you not? We need to have a word, you and I. I suppose I don't have to tell you her condition is... rather dire. You're no stranger, then, to her demon-wrought idiosyncrasies. The thing inside her is voracious. It's a testament to her strength that it hasn't long since consumed her whole. Perhaps that's because she's God-woken, just like you are. The fact that she's God-woken is what's saving her, but may also be the very thing that spells the world's doom. Do heed me when I say that under no circumstance must she be allowed to ascend to divinity. The demon, not she, would be a god. It would bring about the end of time and space and all creation as we know it. I say this to prepare you for the worst. I say this to prepare you for the kill may come to pass. You must be ready to be the death of Lohse. Should she come close to ascension, you may not hesitate. Stand ready to end her, even if it breaks your heart. Then practice the moment in your mind, for hesitation will mean annihilation. There may be more I can do for you. Come find me if you are interested in growing the Source inside you. You may find that new strength will soon become essential. Nothing good will come of speaking with them. They may sound merely mad, but they're infinitely more clever than you imagine. They move between moods like wind through trees, only to settle upon the one that may just sway you. They'll talk themselves out of that cage if you let them. You'll be their key before you know it. You're playing with fire, Godwoken. But far be it from me to come between you and what you consider entertainment.
The creature turns to you. It's so hideously ugly, it's almost beautiful. You feel like it's trying to grin, but it looks more like a snarl. It looks towards its jailer, then back to you.
Hey, want some gold? Set us free. I'll give you what you want after you set us free. No! Set us free! Set us free! Careful now.
There's a boat at the dock. Perhaps it may take us to the island.
Shall I take you to the island? I shall. Step this way. All aboard. It is. But I know what I'm doing. I've been working this crossing my whole death. Trust me. A trifling amount, I'm sure you'll agree. Payable in advance, of course. But that makes no sense. Think about it. You don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side, out of fear that he'll murder you midstream, rob your corpse, and dump you in the water, my friend. If murder was on my mind, I could do the job right here. Payment in advance. Wouldn't want to have to ask you to cough up when we get to the other side. All aboard. The bell is ringing and we're ready to depart. Get in the boat, I mean to say. Well done. You made it through. Well, some of you. In the interest of efficiency and to ensure my quick return to the mainland, please empty your pockets in advance. Thank you. Please, come again. I didn't lie. I just asked you to trust me. The mistake is yours. I could have spent a little less time circling around in the mist, but I like to offer value for money. No refunds. But if you're unhappy with your journey, I'll happily take you back to where it began. For a trifling consideration, of course.
You! The advocate has been waiting.
The knight leans in, a strange look of panic in his eyes that doesn't quite match his powerful voice.
Go! We have wasted enough time here, and he is not a patient creature.
How can I
tell if he's to be trusted.
You don't need me to tell you that.
Ah, there you are, and with just the little demonic host I've been looking for. You don't mind if I have a word with Ms. Lohse, do you? I was just curious about the progress of your little hunt.
I met your old buddy Jehan, if that's what you mean.
I don't have buddies. I have associates. So, did he help you with the, matter at hand?
He's putting me through my paces. I have a few more hoops to jump through before he'll help me.
Nothing in life is free, I suppose. Make sure you do jump them, Lohse. You won't be sorry.
You're here to work. Are you also here to trade? I have much to show. I trade, you have coin. I have wares, nothing else matters. You like your nose? Then do not stick it where it's not welcome. We are where we are meant to be. We will be told when we are meant to be somewhere else. Your friend wanted a new deal. Wanted to renegotiate terms. We have a wager. Some say she succeeds. Some say not. What say you? Good. Tell me, how do you bet? For the half-blood or against? She made a deal with our master, but her reward, her obligation, strictly confidential. But the advocate is quick to remind her, the master does not make deals lightly. The master does not break them. Good. Now, see what happens. Until then, do you wish to trade? Look, do not touch. Not until you fatten my purse.
The lizard's eyes are dark as polished coal, void of all light. A faint frost seems to cover the cracked and broken scales around his mouth.
You have a reputation for both malfeasance and chaos. Imagine my surprise when it took you so long to find your way here. I see the miasma surrounding our islet certainly did not hinder you. Well, here you stand, in the flesh, so to speak. And a finer collection of corpusculae I never have seen. I trust you are not opposed to a mutually beneficial accord between civil and gentle persons. Ah, a curious mind. A most glorious creation. I am here at the behest of my master to offer you a simple exchange. An offer of aid for the promise of aid. The epitome of civil reciprocity. You and he possess a common foe. The power behind the Voidwoken has made our lives hell, so to speak. Since the Divine Order unleashed death fog against the Black Ring and those darling woodland creatures. And as the gods have shirked their duty, perhaps we could come to a mutually beneficial arrangement pertaining to both of our objectives. Indeed, I can offer you the source channel that you seek forthwith, as a gesture of good faith. Indeed, the creatures that strut about this realm so often are plagued with qualms. Very well. I can see them straining against your lips. Unleash them, Godwoken. Ask your questions. My master's identity is of no practical consequence in this matter. You need concern yourself with nothing barring the truth that my master always honors his vows. Your smoldering, half-demon pet can attest to that. She is the one that comes to me, helm in hand, in a sad attempt to beg and snivel her way out of previous and quite binding contracts. Alas, I am not at liberty to say more. My master values privacy above all else. He would not take it kindly if he discovered I had been indiscreet. One may ask, one may inquire, but one should be eternally wary of what one demands. And one should heed that twicefold for information like this. There is power in names, power far, far in excess of your mortal limits. I'll not deliver that power unto him. Have your ears been found defective, or do you simply lack the wit to comprehend? I will not speak that name. Because it is expeditious to do so. My master would have this isle cleared as quickly as possible.
The lizard looks about to make sure no one else can hear, leans in and whispers conspiratorially.
And if you are to become the new divine, I would much rather be an ally than a foe. After all, the power you wield will be as a great sword to my master's butter knife. There are legions that would follow you, myself included. Your power would be unfathomable. Assuming, of course, you take it for your own. Foul wretch! I'll see your blood water the roots of this isle!
Oh, it's you. I don't see why not. I've got business all around the realm, same as you. None of yours, thank you. Bye-bye.
Her eyes suddenly flash with fury, then fade back to normal.
We'll discuss this later. Now, if you'll excuse me.
She pointedly ignores you.
You're embarrassing me in front of the other agents of evil. We'll talk about this later.
The statue is a striking sight, a sizzling blue totem on a blood-red isle. Even stranger, a shard of polished iron peeks from under the statue's base. There's something hidden beneath this massive sculpture. Even a triple-sized troll couldn't make the statue budge. Whatever the stone figure guards remains a mystery, at least for now.
Stand back! Not a foot on these stairs. Whatever words you carry with you, they are warty with futility. I know you for what you are, a mere mouthpiece of deception. It is of no use. The advocate knows the tree belongs to the ring. Oh, I can measure the vile depths of your prevarications by the very pulse of this bleeding forest. You lie. You lie. You lie. Steady as the heart, you lie. Ally, ally, ally. You may be right, and blood does not lie. Very well. You're not one of the advocate's men, but my warning still stands. Stand back. Not a foot on these stairs. Through fog we ride, through blood we wade in search of a name. A demon plots, but with his name we will bind him. This sore of bloody branches knows, but will not speak, just yet. No matter. There is no remedy against patience and torture. He is the serpent that speaks with 1,000 tongues, except his own. He is the death of the soul, with a smile and a flourish. Heed my second warning. Shun the advocate, whose very sentence is a sentence.
Your game will have your back will break. And ravage your roots until we will break your brother. Vein by vein.
The spirit looks around with wild panic, clawing through its spectral mass with fevered nails.
The demon feeds. The demon feeds from the ring. The demon protects. We must know what the demon protects. The demon has an advocate. The advocate kills. The demon has a secret. We must know the secret.
The tree's spirit embraces its putrid host, an elven ancestor lost to the same demonic disease that infests all of Blood Moon Island.
Qui manducad omnio myrtus acts, it quot potest etse.
A moment passes, then you feel it. Clarity.
You speak my name. You know my torture. Please, don't judge me for the sickness my roots have spread. I can be free, my soul cleansed. Naivety, stupidity, call it what you want. I wish to put the source within me to good use, and demonology seemed as good a use as any. Silly me. I meant to summon an imp or two. Instead, I ended up hosting a damned archdemon. The roaring in my head, the craving for living flesh, urges. Good gods, the urges to kill, to hurt. The stronger they became, the harder I fought. And at some point, I was just gone, deadened, but not dead. And then, awake, on an isle I'd never been, encircled by faces I'd never seen, watched by a man I'd never known. They called him Doctor. He shouted strange words, and the demon bellowed. Then, one by one, They fell. I watched my own hands slaughter them. I tried to resist, but I couldn't. And then a final roar, when the demon rushed away and into the only one still standing. The Doctor. That was my last living memory. The demon may be gone, but its disease still infects my roots, birthing evil into the surrounding soil. While it lives, I am still its rotting servant. I've suffered. The Isle has suffered, but you can end it. You awakened me from nightmare with a single utterance, my name. How amazing that a name can wield so much power. Remember this lesson when you leave Blood Moon Island. The demon blackens another land now. It possesses the very doctor that liberated it. Speak its name, however, and you expose it. You weaken it. You'll know him when you find him. A doctor that accommodates a demon doesn't see patients, only victims. And I see so many victims of your actions, Ifan ben Mezd. Yes, I know who you are. You did not know what you were doing, but still, all actions have consequences, and your actions were grave indeed. But even one such as yourself can be redeemed. Destroy the demon, and you free me to the Hall of Echoes. Destroy it, and my roots taint this isle no longer. Now come closer. I'll say the demon's name only once.
The spirit's voice is a harsh whisper.
Adramalik.
The flaming figure emits the hymn twines around winged key from stone. The spirit of a young robed man paces the chamber anxiously. He sees you approach. A look of trepidation crosses his spectral features.
Did my order send you? To cure the child?
The spirit falters, momentarily lost for words. Finally, he musters a nod.
I was hungry and thirsty for days. Then I rested.
When I woke up next to my corpse, I thought I was delirious. I hoped I was delirious. But eventually I realized what had happened. Some form of demon seized her and nested inside her mind. She cannot speak or move. We did what we could to help, but we could not risk provoking the beast within. We can find her here, until a way to safely remove the demon could be found. It was my duty to watch over her, but I was never relieved of that duty. She has no family that we know of. All she had was a pet cat. That poor girl's life is drifting past her, thanks to that demon. Her cell is just over there. I can let you in, but are you sure you can help her? What are you going to do? Some of the best minds in Riverlon couldn't help this girl, and you think you can do better than they did. But nobody else is coming to help, are they? I'll let you in, but promise me one thing. Whatever happens, take her away from this place. Far away. Please, I've waited a long time for this. I need a real answer.
The spirit can't help but smile.
I knew you had good in you, the moment I laid eyes on you. Come, I'll let you in. Take good care of her. Bring her somewhere peaceful. Don't disturb the demon within her. There's no telling what could happen if it breaks free.
Get away! Do you hear me? Away! I won't let anyone hurt my mistress anymore. Mistress saved me when I was a kitten. She took me in, fed me and kept me warm. She deserves loyalty. I won't leave her side, not until she wakes. My heart stopped beating and my flesh fell away. No matter, I'm staying here.
The tension eases out from the cat's skeletal form. It sits.
Go on. I'll be watching.
The young girl lies still and silent in the center of the floor, bound by chains. Difficult to do anything for her until those are removed. The young girl lies silently on the floor, eyes open and staring. Her only movement is the tiniest rise and fall of her chest. The girl's eyes don't even flicker as you lean in close. Her fingers seem to grip you ever so slightly. The girl's grip tightens. A flush of color spreads across her previously bloodless features. She's grown stronger, strong enough to move, perhaps.
Mistress is gone. I can still smell her. She must be near. I'll find...
How fares the hunt, my friend?
He smiles brightly and pulls you in for a short, if warm, embrace.
You've done me proud, Godwoken. Prouder than you could ever realize. I know how twisted the paths can get. How much more alluring the sunny glade than the rock-strewn hollows. But you know it's the darkest roads that lead to light. It will be my honor to teach you. The nature of my lesson, though, might be somewhat different from what you expect. I can deepen your bond with the Source, but you must realize that this bond comes at a cost. All life, after all, sustains itself by consumption. Like the grass feeds the herd, and the herd feeds the hunter, so you must feed, for instance, on these.
He waves a hand to the cage in demonstration.
The very same. For the sum of source that flows through their festering flesh is more than enough to expand the sum that is yours. Through demise, a chance of divinity. Then let us begin.
Jahan's incantations befog your mind. All of you is thumping blood, pumping, pumping, pumping. Then, all you hear, then all that is screaming. From the cage to you, their blood in your ears, screaming. Silence.
That is all. Their suns have set to serve a greater dawn. The world awaits your true awakening. You are very powerful already. A master of the Source. But I did not let this burst of power go to waste. It lies condensed on parchment for you to read and learn.
He hands you a book, hot to the touch, a sparkle with source.
My pleasure. And now that the lesson has ended, there is one more matter I would like to discuss. Offer you a chance to deepen our alliance. You see, the demon that you killed, the Advocate, he had a master. You might say the Advocate compared to his master, like the pussycat compares to the tiger. It is the tiger I am truly hunting. The self-same tiger, I suspect, that has been haunting Lohse. Now don't you worry. I have no intention of sending you after this archdemon. There are few enough Godwoken as it stands for me to force them into any real danger. The one thing I would like you to do for me, though, is to return through the mist to the Isle of Blood and uncover there his name.
Jahan looks at you utterly flabbergasted, but soon an air of serenity descends upon him, that of a chess player overlooking the board.
Adramalik. You have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm. Stories of the women we have loved. Thank you, Godwoken. You have done me an unparalleled service, and you've quite humbled me at the same time. You must go your path, I mine, so that I may confront the archdemon in his lair, in the great city of Arx. Please accept this token of gratitude, and fare thee well. You have done me a great service. The time has come to serve you, if I can. Are you ready, Lohse?
Right. Really? Okay, yes. What? I'm ready. Totally. Is it just me, or did it just get really sweaty in here?
I won't lie. This will be rough, Lohse. Our foe is a true archdemon. We know him now. A Dramalik. There is a great power in names. Just like Source is the language of creation, a demon's true name is the core of its existence. It's be-all or end-all. With his name, we may undo him. That will be our attempt. As for you...
His dark eyes flash at you.
You must not disturb us, no matter what. Promise me.
He nods respectfully in return, then focuses on Lohse once more.
Close your eyes, Lohse. Do as I do.
Jahan takes Lohse's hands and begins inhaling slowly, deeply, then exhaling audibly through his mouth. Lohse's breaths match his. They begin to hum in unison, a low, rumbling note held over several out-breaths. The humming grows louder and louder until...
Quiet! Adramalik!
Lohse suddenly lunges forward, her hands reaching for Jahan's throat. Jahan steps away, and Lohse tumbles to the ground before quickly scrambling to her feet. Lohse's eyes are ink-black, her skin corpse-grey. Her chest heaves in rapid pulses as she stares intently at Jahan.
Adramalik, thousand-named nemesis, Lord of Soot, come shake black hands with me. Leave her. Leave her. Come play with me.
This is none of your business, Jehan. How many times do I have to convince you to keep your nose out of my affairs?
Listen to me, demon. I know why you chose her. I know what it is you fear the most, and therefore desire the most. But I'll not let her serve you any longer.
Lohse's a good host, Jehan. We're going places. It's no concern of yours.
Mashtuna Pathan Shdanelu, Kaumel Saravel, Damarel Saravel.
He places a palm on Lohse's forehead. She falls to her knees, seemingly overcome by some unseen force.
You petulant would-be king. You're nothing. She is mine. She is mine!
Kaumel Saravel, Damarel Saravel, Mashtu, Shdanelu.
Lohse's eyes roll back in her head. She groans, her face slack and lifeless, while her body racks with spasms. Jahan draws his palm back from her. She is rigid on the floor.
It's no use. It's too late. I failed her. The demon's not coiled around her heart. He's become her heart. Try as I might, he would not shift. Lohse's soul is buried very deeply, deeper than ever before. Adramalik may never allow her to resurface again. She's lost, bewildered, a stranger in her own soul, desperately trying to find her way home. She's fighting a battle for her life, for her very self. It's a battle she may yet win, even if only temporarily. But she'll need your help. You must call her spirit back from the dark. Guide her into the light. Let your voice be the shepherd that leads the lamb through the valley of wolves. Go on, call to her.
She stirs, barely. Her eyes flutter open and dart around in a panic. They come to a focus on you.
Hey, Chief.
Well done. Very well done indeed.
Only just.
I am truly sorry, Lohse, that I couldn't exorcise the demon, but do not despair. I will not give up on you. We must simply take a darker path still. Confront Adramalik in his lair and deal with the demon face to face. You almost have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm, stories of life and love. But now I know where he hides, afraid of his own name. To the city of Arx you must go. I will travel with you, if I may. I will meet you both there and prepare for the coming battle. You'll yet be all, Lohse.
Hey. No, I'm not all right. That wasn't okay. It was like dying. I was all alone in the dark, in the deep, deep dark. And I suddenly knew as clear as day that I didn't exist, that no one would ever know me, and then... And then I heard your voice. I heard you calling, and I followed it. It was all I had in the darkness. It was the only thing I could find. Just you. Nothing else. What the hell do I do with that?
Tears stream down her cheeks. She steps forward and wraps her arms around you.
I'm not even a real person, you know. I've got this thing in me, and my chance of getting better is getting smaller all the time.
She holds onto you for a long moment before stepping away, wiping her face. Eventually she smiles.
I'm damn lucky I met you, Chief.
Second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you?
The blade quivers as Tarquin nears it and hums a response. An unfallen reveil. Amadi of Lucio de Anne Drita Dumores.
Oh, very good. Very, very, very good. This, my friend, is the key. Give me some time, and every deity in existence will tremble at the sight of you.
He holds out his hand, expectantly.
Lovely. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must work.
Tarquin turns away, but continues to mutter excitedly, almost religiously, about anathema. A sudden shuffle behind you, and Lohse's mouth is close to your ear.
Psst. Hey, Chief. I need to have a little chat with old Mouse about something. Mind if I butt in?
There you are, Lohse. I've been eager to hear a little update. Did you do as I instructed?
Yeah, about that.
Oh, do tell. This sounds interesting.
That's one word for it, I guess. I met Jehan, and he tried the exorcism, but it didn't work. The demon's still knocking around in there, in here.
Well, leave it to me, Lohse. Mama Malady will think of something.
You will?
Of course I will. Surely you know by now you're my favorite.
Really? I didn't think you liked anyone.
I didn't say I liked you, I said you're my favorite. The cherry pit at the top of the rubbish heap, if you will.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
It's the nicest thing I've ever said. Aren't you supposed to be off learning how to become the divine and whatnot?
Her eyes flash with something, anger perhaps, or fear.
But never mind. We'd better focus on the task at hand.
She looks straight ahead, ignoring you.
Well, aren't you industrious? It seems all the riffraff's back aboard as well. Ready to set sail when you are, Your Holiness. Fantastic. Now, on to the interesting part.
After many adventures, the party finally reached the place where Godwoken go to become divine. But more surprises and difficult choices awaited.
Here we are, the Nameless Isle. And here I thought Malady was unimaginative. Still, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't that right? And this is the place you're meant to become a god. I can't help but wonder exactly what you intend to do with such a power. I have no doubt about that, but do remember, you can do what's good for you, too. All things in balance, you know. You'll want to hurry now. Divinity is waiting, after all. Excellent question. Normally, this place ought only to be known to Godwoken, but judging by the ships burning in the bay, there's been a breach, let's call it. Regardless of who's on the island, all that matters is who ascends. Make sure that's you. The strongest will survive and ascend.
Okay, wait. Before we go any further, there's something I want to ask you. Okay, so... did you hear the one about the pregnant lich? She forgot her prophylactory. You're very generous, thank you. I just want to lighten the mood, the smallest of scooches. I mean, we're at the Nameless Isle. One of us is about to ascend to divinity, and we still don't know exactly who. I guess things are about to get, interesting. We've come this far together. There's no reason to turn against each other now, not after everything we've been through. I don't want to hurt you, and I hope you don't want to hurt me either. But make no mistake, if you come for me, I'm coming for you too.
Gareth greets you warmly. He's oddly chipper. More chipper than you've ever seen him, and certainly more chipper than most people mourning dead loved ones.
I should thank you. I don't know what came over me. Praise Lucy and I had you to put me on the right track. Not bad. Took some time to think. My parents led good lives. I'd rather celebrate them for the love they gave me than to wail over their loss. Besides, we have work to do. Once we anchor at the Nameless Isle, I'll scout ahead, see if I can help locate the council and ease the way. I'll report to you on what I find.
Gareth offers his farewell.
Quite a journey I've found myself on with you. Is this where it ends, I wonder? Why, my dear Ifan, you already have the finest safeguard possible for traversing this place. A mercenary's reputation. If there's fighting on that island, I'm sure that my former comrades will be making use of the lone wolves to help their cause. Remember your lupine motto, Glechu Duma. That may be just the thing to keep you safe. I wish I could offer you more in return for finding anathema, but alas. Pursuit of my interests has led me to fall in with some disreputable company in my time. For a short while, one such group was the Black Ring. I know, not something to be proud of, but they let me do as I wished, so desperate they were for aid after the death fog cut them down to size. A fine arrangement, until they started preaching about this God King and his infernal covenant.
He snorts derisively.
The last thing this world needs is another would-be god, and an army of fools willing to follow him. It's a sop to all the fools who think that someone will grant them power and immortality in return for loyalty. This God King has caused to make war with the Seven, and the Covenant is how he's gathered his army. They become sworn, as it was put to me, bound to serve, die, and be reborn for the God King for as long as he wishes. Then, at some ill-defined point in the future, they think they'll be rewarded. You should have seen them all, on their knees, worshipping a new tyrant just to spite 7 old ones. I got away from them while I still could. Unfortunately, Dallas was waiting to snatch me. There's a clue in the name. He's a god, or something that wants to be a god. Continue to march to the Seven's beat, and I'm sure you'll find out exactly what he is. They're all the same, you know. Tyrants, liars, carrion birds. The best thing would be for them all to destroy each other and leave the rest of us to live in peace.
Do you serve the God King's scum? So, you are a sellsword. The sallow man will want to speak with you to tell you how to serve. Take this.
He hands you a mirror of the blackest glass. The glass is black at first, but then a sickly haze begins to form like sand upon a pond. The haze shimmers and becomes a face. A one-faced man, perhaps, looking straight at you. The sallow man. You feel his hate, his avarice, his thirst for blood. God-woken blood. He does not speak, and yet he asks you who you are. You know the wrong answer will send him into a ferocious rage. His eyes burn into yours. You feel the hot flood of his hate, his rage, his madness. And you know the Black Ring are now sworn to see you dead. The mirror fades to black. Forktongue's lips curl into a smile.
I see that you know, that I know, that you know that Sallow wants you dead.
something ever... Hold up. Shriekers.
We'll need a purging wand to defeat them.
Explain yourself!
The elf's deep, golden eyes go wide. A strange smile dances across his mouth, and he starts to roar with laughter.
The gods chose you as their champion? Some tired old mercenary? Run home, little Godwoken. You find only death here. We have all swatted flies. That is not what lies ahead of you. You are not worthy of this temple. Leave. Run back to your hearth. Cower there while death searches for you.
The laughter dies from the elf's eyes, replaced with weary seriousness.
Good. It is proper that the Godwoken should not be so easily pushed away. Too many are not ready for the trials ahead. You may proceed. You find no threat here. Not from me, at least. The island is not overrun. This temple stands strong. The other gods were clearly not as powerful as Delius. In his fortress, the Black Ring do not succeed. They do not kill the Godwoken, but they do not fail. Now, knights and Godwoken both cower behind monsters, tied to sticks.
The elf raises a bushy eyebrow.
One demands from one's lessers. I am your equal, Godwoken. Once, I stand where you stand. My gods chosen, fighting to be the divine. The trials do not kill me, but neither do I triumph. Another becomes divine, and I remain here to serve Delius and protect his chosen. It is not the place of a knight to reveal such things. We walked your path once. You must discover it yourself, as we did. Turn to the gods. Their guidance alone will lead you. May Rallick ever watch over you.
A flat circle of polished black obsidian. The mirror is pretty, but now it's a mirror. And the bear gives you a serious look. She opens her mouth wide, her great fangs on display for you. Then she clears her throat.
Can I ask you a philosophical question? Okay, then. If a tree falls in a forest and the whole place is covered in death fog, does anyone care?
Please, sister, we're safe now.
Almighty Duna, hear my prayer. Save your children.
I escaped. Thousands didn't. They barely had the time to scream.
She gives you a long, wet-eyed look. Her lip begins to tremble, which on a bear is an impressive sight. She tries not to cry.
I thought no one cared. I thought no one cared but elves and bears. This gives me hope, this does. Lots of hope. Oh, thank you.
With a sigh, she turns away.
Have you been to the temple of Zolstissa? Is the King's Knight safe? Is Zolstissa's chosen champion safe? Good news, at least for now. I thank you for your kindness. Shall we pray together?
He lowers his head, closes his eyes, and silently begins to pray.
Please, sister, with safe love. This is incredible. What a structure.
There might be nothing
The
left
elf
like
prays hard, his eyes tight shut.
Soon, Tirsen Delius will give us the power to smash the ring and all our enemies. Alexander does not rise. You fool yourself to think otherwise.
He closes his eyes once more and returns to his prayers.
Godwoken, the mother tree calls you. Follow the spirit. Climb to the heart of the tree. The mother awaits.
Is this the heart of the tree?
I don't see what else it could be.
I am the scion of the Mother Tree. Her heart speaks through me. The Mother gave you a gift through Sahila. She gave of her power, and now she is ailing. Now you must come to her aid. The Mother asks you to help her. A lizard assassin stands near. A prince of shadows, come to strike at the heart of the elves. He must die, this lizard as Doombringer, and you must bring me his heart. The Shadow Prince is on this island, seeking our annihilation. He is the master of the House of Shadows. He is a terror that breathes. Please, cut off its breath, then bring me its heart. He is a lizard. No doubt he slithers close to the temple of his fork-tongued goddess, Zolstissa.
I am at the ready.
I will have your head, Seeker.
Be at ease, Magister Rowe. Weapons down. Gareth, I have done you a grave injustice. I was deceived, and I was too weak, too naive to see it.
Alexander holds his hands outwards towards Gareth, his blade resting flat across his palms, a gesture of goodwill and peace.
Godwoken, have you come to witness the death of the noble coward? How fortunate. You can tell the tale of Lucian's other wayward son. Amusing you should defend this slug's life on the basis of his ignorance. Have you seen the terror this man has wrought? Have you forgotten of the purgatory he threw you into? Have you forgotten what he has taken from me? My friends, my parents, my life, a life dedicated to service at his father's side. I've forgotten nothing. Alexander, you are the sinner, yet the gods have allowed us to suffer for it. I would kill you 100 times over if given the chance.
Gareth looks to you, then to Alexander. He digs his teeth into his lower lip until blood seeps out from the tender skin. The silence is thick, yet neither Gareth nor Alexander move.
You are not Damien. You are not Damien. Damien. My sins have been as great as yours, Alexander. I've just been too blind to see them. It's just your father. You could forgive Alexander when I could not, Godwoken. I hope you show me the same kindness. I will meet you aboard the Lady Vengeance when you are ready.
Ifan Ben Mesd, my killer.
Alexander smiles at you, a familiar smile from when he was but a boy in his father Lucian's arms. For a moment your lips twitch automatically in return, until you remember all that led to this moment.
I do hope you are not here to try to kill me again. I think we need to talk. The same reason my father and I did everything. To protect the realm. As that is what the Divine is for. What price all of Rivellon against just one portion? Any Divine would do the same, if it meant saving everything. You should be proud my father picked you. His best right-hand man. He knew you would make it. But he also knew that if he told you the truth, you would falter. He knew you well, Ifan.
He looks at you slyly. Alexander was always easy to read, and right now his face is an open book. He's clearly remembering the conversation in which your fate was chosen. You realize he's telling the truth.
It was what had to be done. No two ways about it. I'm sorry you feel that way, Ifan. You weren't raised by my father. If you were, you would understand. The life of some is nothing compared to the lives of all. Here is the truth, Ifan. I'm Lucian's son, and I will take any actions necessary for the good of all. Nothing can stop me becoming the next Divine. I was born for this duty. As long as he lived, my father groomed me to take his place, to speak for the gods. And make no mistake, divinity is a duty, not a reward. Others may be able to claim the mantle, but only I can shoulder the burden, the responsibility. She had her accomplice, Vredeman, pose as someone who could train me how to master my God-woken powers. But it was a lie. They sought to hinder, not help. While I was being occupied by Vredeman, Dallas began taking over the Order. I confronted them once I returned from the Hall of Echoes, and the pair of them tried to kill me. They must be Black Ring agents, tasked with preventing me from ascending. They won't succeed, though. I know what needs to be done, and I have good, loyal Magister and Paladin companions to help me see that it is done. Wrong. That proves I am the only one who is worthy. I have to decide who lives and who dies, for the sake of the greater good. That is what true power demands of you. Only I have the will, the strength to do what is necessary. And now that those traitors, Dallas and Vredeman, have no influence over me, the way forward is clear. Not fit. I have given my life to the Order. I will take the sacred duty of divinity with the seriousness it deserves. I will not take disparagement from a turncoat assassin like you. Make no mistake, Godwoken. I do not need to work with you. I will enter the Council when I am fit and ready. But you are desperate. That much is clear. Make yourself of use to me, and I shall help you unlock the Council. You must strike down the one who leads the Black Ring on this island. That is my price.
is mine.
spirit of Alexander looks bitterly dejected. He turns to you.
Ifan Benmezd, I take it that your contract is fulfilled. But what kind of divine would you be? I have to know your intentions before I help you. What do you mean to do with the power of divinity if you succeed? I suppose you paid your dues long, long ago. You will do, Ifan. Rannick, Vrogir, and Zolstissa favored the sun, while Duna, Tyrsendilius, Xantetza, and Amadia favored the moon. Align their idols thusly at the entrance to the council. Then there's the lever. It requires a great power source. I had one. Perhaps it's still with my remains. Otherwise, you must scour the island. Farewell, Benmezd. I hope you don't disappoint.
Eyes closed, the tiger seems to be praying. Her nose twitches as she senses your presence.
I smell the fog on you, Dogman. The fog of death. You were there when all my kind were killed. It is your fault.
She grins, revealing sharply pointed teeth. She raises a paw and extends her claws, one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Little wolves should know better than to follow corrupted alphas. And who is it that you follow now? So you do not learn from your mistakes. A pity.
She eyes you with sharp consideration for a moment, then pounces for you, claws flashing in the light. The ghostly tiger bares her teeth at you, a triumphant glint in her eye.
When the God King brings the forest tigers back, and we rise to rule, you shall be the first to die, Dogman. After we've finished playing with you, perhaps we shall hunt you in the forest before you die. For you there shall be no return. I am the last of my hide, my stripe, my streak. You cannot take me, for I shall rise. You cannot take me, for I shall...
She shall... nothing.
with a bare altar. Strange.
The altar before you seems relatively bare. There is no inscription to a god and no offering placed. All you can see is a smear of blood on its surface and a hollow that seems to call for something. You feel a sense of relief wash over you, of hunger satiated, for now. As you watch, the rock wall behind the altar starts to bleed, to dissolve, to evaporate into nothing. After a few moments, it is gone entirely. The bilious film reforms in the glass and becomes a knight in shining armor, sunshine glinting upon his helm, the light reflecting, masking his features. On seeing your face, he snaps the mirror shut. The cloying miasma within the glass shimmers and a face comes into view. A well-dressed dwarven woman, peering closely at you. With a hiss, she closes the mirror and is gone. The broom upon the glass spins and whirls, but no face appears. The owner must be busy. Or dead. You gaze into the mirror, and you see a red lizard.
Is that Sadher? I must see her. Step aside, please, and let me look into the mirror. Thank you. Now, let's see what visions this dark glass weaves. I see her. She's in a city. There's a great cathedral. Arcs. She's in the city of Arcs. I recognize the cathedral from paintings in my palace. I know where Sadher is. And once I leave this island, god or no god, I will find her.
Looks like those Black Ring made a lethal enemy.
You approach an undead, standing proud at the lip of a broken bridge. Understandably fearless of the fatal drop, she gazes into the lava sputtering below. Turning to you, she motions to the Black Ring corpses at her feet.
Good riddance to bad rubbish, eh? Only thing I like less than Black Ring are trolls. God-woken, are you? I thought so. I see it on you like an aura. I see such things, for I am the Watcher. And I seek such things, for I am a seeker. The Meister!
She bats one skeletal hand in a truly derisive fashion. Her crackling laugh sounds like dry leaves whirling in the wind on an autumn night.
The Meister's ragtag band are but a pale imitation of the tradition they sought to revive. I am one of the original Seekers. We swore to be Knights of the Council, Guardians of Godwoken, and Defenders of Divinity. Together, we failed. But still, I try. Alone. The Knight of Duna has been cursed. Void runs through his veins where source once flowed. I am sworn to protect the Council and all within it. But that same oath renders me unable to lift a blade against him. Release the Knight's good spirit from his corrupted shell, Godwoken. Do this, and I will gift you with the last standard of the original Seekers. If you seek ascension, it could help you greatly in the trials along the way. My thanks. And the thanks of Duna's Knights, too. In life, I knew him well. He would hate to be like this. Believe me, you would be releasing him from torment. Please do.
This won't be of any use.
With great armored fists, the Knight of Duna pounds his own helmet rhythmically. The helmet is buckled inwards in places. Rivulets of blood trickle from beneath the visor.
Come, hear my joke. What is it that I guard? Well-being? Ha! You'd be the same if you saw what he showed me.
He leans forward. Glimpsed beneath the crumpled helmet is a mangled face and crazed, unblinking eyes.
It's all a joke. There's nothing to guard, only lies. You'll see for yourself once you're dead.
The Knight of Duna's features slacken. He looks almost calm, but the moment passes and his maniacal scowl creeps back.
No more talking, hear me? There's only one way this will end. Lies! No more talk. It's time for blood.
Is altogether more composed than his late corporeal form. His helmet rests in the crook of his arm, revealing an august, dwarven face, creased with worry.
A Godwoken? I thank you. Death was the only remedy that was done to me. But these fiends resurrect those they have use of. Please, consume my spirit. I don't want to come back. I don't want to be their slave. The Black Ring came and sacked the temple. The one that leads them, the Sallow Man, he cursed me. A curse of madness and terrible visions.
The spirit averts his gaze with a shiver.
I will not say it. It would be blasphemy to even utter the words. The Sallow Man is a trickster, a deviant. They must have been lies that he concocted. They must be! Good. I thank you. Hopefully that creature's lies will rot alongside him. There's little I can do to help you. It's the altars that have that power. Bow to the altar of Duna, and to those of the others also. If you are worthy, they will show you the way. I was not worthy. I failed the gods twice over now. All I deserve is nothingness. I was not worthy. I betrayed my own nature. I made a pact with a demon, so I would triumph over all others in the council. But the gods saw through my rules, and I was rejected. I begged them to let me serve here on the island to pay penance. They should have cast me into the sea instead. The Sallow Man proved I am still weak at heart. Please, I failed my duty and let myself be corrupted. Now I'm just a potential weapon to be used against you. Grant me oblivion, I beg you.
The spirit offers a stoic nod, accepting his fate.
Thank you. Look to the altars for guidance.
Carved onto the face of the altar is a dedication, in honor of Duna, patron of the dwarves. Long may their mountain halls stand as a testament to him. There is no sign of life from the altar. You run your hand across the lunar rune carved into its surface and walk away.
Ah, God-woken. You have succeeded where I could not. Please accept this with my thanks, and the thanks of all those I served alongside. The blessings of the original Seekers upon you.
She hands you a small yet heavy trinket, crafted of tarnished metal. Though cold, it feels comforting to the touch, like a worry stone or a familiar childhood toy.
I must speak with this man. Please stay close and keep an eye out for assassins in the shadows. Very good. Now for some answers.
Red Prince, at last we meet, or rather, meet with your awareness of my presence. How often I've stood by you but an arm's length away, a shadow within the shadows. Untouchable. Almost like meeting an old friend.
His eyes are black holes in a black-skinned sky. He bows with the deference of a noble among nobles, swinging ever so playfully between sincerity and sarcasm.
I suppose I should start with an apology for the attempts on your life. Talk about getting off on the wrong foot, wouldn't you say?
Failed attempts, remember? Hardly made me break a sweat, those lackeys of yours.
To my astonishment, and I admit my admiration. You may find this hard to believe, but given different circumstances, I would have been quite content to let you live. Let you play the Emperor from your golden throne in your golden city. Alas, certain events beyond even my control were set in motion. Ripples became waves. I had to act. And so I arranged for you to meet with an unfortunate self-inflicted end. His libido is legendary. How could he resist? And what better way to organize his demise? But of course I didn't know then he was God-woken, stronger than the demon. It's almost a pity we find ourselves on such opposite sides, all because of who you are, and all because of who she is. It was Sadha who set events in motion, Red Prince. If you were the ripple, she was the wave. She's a tidal wave that will take wing, become a murder of dragons, red as the setting sun, that will alight every corner of this world with the terrible splendor of fire.
And I, their proud father.
But don't you see, you who wants to be emperor, that you're enacting the downfall of our race? The simple truth of the matter is that yes, we lizards were dragons once. The mightiest creatures to rule sky, earth, and sea. But such was the jealousy of our power that all other races united against us and brought us to the brink of extinction. No one knows what happened next. Was it wizardry? Was it Zol Stissa who took mercy on us even then? Suddenly we were dragons no more. Lizards instead. And as lizards we flourished and built an empire once more. But the House of Dreams trades in prophecy. They've always known we could be dragons again. For one day a man and a woman will be born, and their skin will be red, and the fruit of their union will be great red dragons.
A day that will come to pass.
Curse your obstinance. Listen to me. I am the House of Shadows. This is my role. I see the great games in motion, allow them their flux when they advance for good, cut them short when they advance for evil, even if that means doing evil. The renaissance of dragons would spell the end of our race, plain and simple. To that end, I needed you to die, but you proved to be all too worthy an opponent. An opponent, I would now see an ally. Ally with me, Red Prince. Find Sadha and kill her. If she births dragons, all other races will unite against us, and this time they will destroy us for good. We were spared last time. The condition of our continued existence was that we'd never let the dragon roar again.
They look each other in the eyes, like two chess players contemplating their next move.
No. No, it's not. Now then, I'm the Red Prince. Your role in this story is over. I am its sole protagonist. Sadha may indeed be dangerous. I may decide she must die. I may not. But it will be my decision. You're out of options, Master of Shadows. Tell me where she is.
The Shadow Prince stands checkmated, and he knows it.
I truly have no choice, have I? Very well. I must put the fate of all lizards in your hands. But beware. Sadha is ultimately dangerous. Not only will she be the mother of dragons, I fear she's fallen in with an old enemy. Them.
He points to the fallen black ring.
If I'm correct, and Sadha's heart has been darkened by the ring, you may be able to find her through their scrying magic. There's a thing on this island known as the Sallow Man. He is a master of mirrors. Mirrors like his will read your mind and show you what you desire, if you manage to elude or eliminate him. A word of warning, though. He is like a shred of nightmare ripped from the dream realm, set loose in reality. Do not underestimate this creature. Be careful, and become the savior of all lizards, Red Prince. Become the true emperor of your people.
I will be emperor, yes. Of lizards or dragons, that remains to be seen.
Will you help me? I said that what eluded me is divinity, not the power to kill divinity. Shadow to shadow.
You there! Prithee, goodly traveler, might I prevail upon you to answer a question? You see, I am on a mission most grave. I seek a sorcerer most foul, most reviled, most feared. Her name is...
His pincers scissor wildly.
Scepter the Ineffable! have you heard tell of this wicked beast on your travels? Why, I shall slay her with a single thrust of my sword-like claw. For mine is an ancient and noble order, bent on destroying that which would destroy. Scepter is a sorcerer, and I am a source hunter. Useful? No doubt. The place is crawling with sorcerers and dark ones, too. None of Scepter's conspirators, as far as I can tell. We are very lucky indeed. What? I have no wish to spill your blood on this day, abomination. But I must ask, are you in league with the Dark Beast Scepter? Very well. I must save my strength for the great war against Scepter. I shall allow you to live, for now. The hunt continues. Imperio, away!
I am the scion of the Mother Tree. Her heart speaks through me. Her safety is assured. The Mother is content.
The scion eats the lizard's heart, one chamber at a time. 1, 2, 3, and then it is gone. She holds her hand out.
Accept this gift from the Mother. It may aid you on your journey. Know that you have an ally in the Mother. The Mother permits you to leave.
The doors loom above you, one step closer to the Council, one step closer to divinity. The others must surely be thinking the same. After all, only one of you can ultimately ascend. Time for an honest discussion, perhaps.
So, I guess this is it. I can't see two ways about it. I need to be myself again. Finally. I can't risk getting shut out by this demon. It wants to keep me quiet, to rule in place of me. I need to make sure I'm strong enough that it can never seize control again. I won't let it make me silent in my own skin. I need to ascend. Let's do this.
The Academy. My Academy. This place was home once. Now I'm not sure what home even means. But I know one thing. I may be the last of my line, but the hope for my people lives on through me. I must try to save them. I must ascend. It is the only way to guarantee that my race will never be snuffed out. Perhaps you do know best. Curious. I was sure I would burst into flames if I ever uttered those words. Oh well. Come, Godwoken. Let's claim your destiny.
Well, well, well. This is, as they say, it. Divinity. Surreal, is it not? So much more insubstantial, almost, than desiring an empire, or vengeance, or fame. That said, I'll not deny I very much aspire to the surreal. No greater emperor than the one that sits on the throne of gods.
He sighs deeply.
Oh, you'll probably think this highly uncharacteristic of me, but I'm inclined to agree. This journey of ours, this strange and violent pilgrimage, it has changed some preconceptions. It's not so much that my desires have changed, it's that they've multiplied. They were like a diamond kept hidden in a secret pocket for none but me to see. But then the diamond was forced into the open, held against the light. And in that light, so many colours I never knew were there. Sadder, the promise of dragons. I value them more highly now even than divinity. The final prize is yours. I'm content to follow a more unexpected path.
So this is the ancient Academy of the Eternals.
The Voidwoken rears its head as you approach, its beady eyes looking past you. You glance over your shoulder and see Fane staring at it, transfixed.
You.
The Voidwoken hisses as Fane approaches. It calls him traitor, but it calls him brother too. Fane's drive to uncover the universe's secret saw the Eternals cast into the void. His hubris saw his people turned into Voidwoken. But the Voidwoken offers him a chance to redeem himself, to rejoin his people. If he accepts the God King's covenant, all will be forgiven. The Voidwoken claims that the Eternals can return to this world, that Fane can be home again. The skeleton looks back at you. A Voidwoken stares intently at you. This creature seems different. It sways with a sinewy purpose. Intelligence glints in its eyes.
Step back, Hanola. The time of mortals draws to a close. We have returned to claim what is ours. We have returned to claim the... All mortals are thieves. You have stolen our world. All the world is ours. We are not the void, mortal. We are of the world. You are of the void. When we were banished, you were made. You owe your entire existence to us. You owe us everything. We were betrayed by the 7 usurpers. They took our powers and used them to create you. They sent us to the void and thought we'd never return. They were wrong. And now they will face the wrath of the king. They were little more than local barons until Fane the traitor found the veil. In their greed, the 7 tore its fabric. This gave them power. It made them gods. And it let the void into the world and saw us banished to its clutches. You left us no choice. We had no other tools. We shall return, and then we shall cast out the void. Do not resist us. We shall be who we once were, and the world shall be restored to what it was before we were betrayed. Because of that betrayal, you exist. Because of what was stolen from us, you exist. Because of the powers we lost, you exist. We will have them back. But we will not fight your husk, mortal. The time will come when the thieving coward inside of you must step out. If it can still walk, you shall end then.
What you were told hangs in the air like a noxious cloud. The Voidwoken were Eternals, robbed of their source in order to create you. They allied themselves with the Void so they could return.
Suddenly, it all makes sense. Folks will do anything to survive. Who could blame them?
My people. What have they done to you? This cannot stand. You must be restored.
What they pursued for power, which is what they're doing still. One has to admire their tenacity.
Junk.
The spirit of a lizard is seated before you, weeping profusely. She looks up at you, moist-eyed.
Godwoken? Can it be true? Am I dead?
Of course, your hand passes right through her. You back away and shrug awkwardly. The spirit's expression changes in an instant, utterly composed and thoroughly unimpressed.
I applaud your empathy, Godwoken, but that was the most ungainly display I've borne witness to in a long time. Time for one last lesson in finesse, I think. I'll have my work cut out for me with you. True finesse requires dedication, however. Sacrifice. In order to receive my aid, some other area of study must suffer a little. Your wits, I believe. Do you wish to—
The spirit's composure gives way to a flash of anger. She spits out a name.
Lucian. Our finest pupil, the Divine himself, came to us here under the guise of friendship. Then at this very table, he poisoned us. Oh, I won't pretend to know why. The Divine answers to no one. Either way, he seemed intent on sabotaging the path of his successors. But now you are here, Godwoken. And that means there's still hope. Will you accept my help?
You pause. Lucian was the Divine. Why would he want to harm anyone in the Academy, from where his successor ought to rise?
Hard to believe the Divine did all that. Hardly worthy of the title, if you ask me.
Oh, why do humans do anything? The man was probably driven mad with power. An Eternal would have no such issues.
To rule is to be ruthless when the occasion calls for it. The occasion simply must have called.
The spirit of a robed woman casts a critical eye over you.
You're an impressive specimen, Godwoken. I can always spot when a pupil has put effort into developing their strength. Bravo! But there's always room for improvement. Say the word, and I will do what I can to bolster your strength even further. There is a price, unfortunately. To excel at one skill is to neglect another. Improving your strength will sap your wits. Do you accept? It is done. Wield your strength wisely, Godwoken. Farewell.
Perhaps we can harness its power somehow.
You are Leonard Rawle. You are a Godwoken and a thief. You keep your secrets well, even from yourself. You are Leonard Rawle, Godwoken, thief. If you can't earn a place in Lucian's shadow, you're going to steal it. You think you'll find advantage in the Forbidden Library. But first you have to steal the keys. Your tutors have one each, but you can't risk getting caught. You'd earn yourself a trip to the Chancellor's chamber, one from which you suspect you would not return. Your best friend, Redulus, was your rival. You knew that he was weak. You made sure the Chancellor knew it too. And while your friend was in the Chancellor's secret room, you stole the capacitor from the Chancellor's own table. But then you heard a noise. You heard the sound of your best friend's murder. You fled. You hid the capacitors you had taken and set out to steal the rest. You were lurking here, plotting, when you were overtaken with a sense of love. You felt at peace. You felt Lucian's hand on your shoulder. You did not feel the sword blade enter your back. A hunger rises deep within you, a desire for the spirit source. This yearning is not yours, but it demands satisfaction. The hunger dies away, for now.
An ancient library. I feel right at home.
Here we go.
An automaton still and silent before you. A faint glow pulsates from within its chest cavity, dormant perhaps. A compartment in the side of the contraption appears to be empty. There's a part missing. The capacitor sparks and fizzles. Then the pulsating light begins circulating throughout the automaton. It rises. The automaton looms above you. A lone, glowing eye takes you in dispassionately.
Hello, Godwoken.
The automaton peers in close at your face.
You are a fine specimen. Most fine. Your arrival is long overdue. This is the Academy. It is a place of great learning. I am the Seneschal. I serve both those who teach and those who come to learn. Those like you. Allow me to show you.
The Sensual falls silent for a long moment, as if processing this question is quite taxing on its cognitive faculties.
It seems I was interfered with. My power supply was removed through force. The perpetrator is unclear. Inactivity has caused further damage. I cannot access my full faculties. Unfortunate, but I shall help you however possible. The Academy exists to help unveil the divine from amongst the Godwoken. You must enter the temple, then prove yourself in the arena of the One. Godwoken should usually be able to pass freely. Whoever tampered with me may have interfered with the Academy in other ways. Apologies, Godwoken. I trust you will be able to overcome any difficulties. It's quite simple. Defeat all others.
I have no idea what any of this means.
I can understand this reads, "In the footsteps of the Eternals," but what that means remains to be seen.
So this is it. The Temple of the One.
At last, this journey is almost done.
Godwoken, are your studies complete? All Godwoken have completed their studies. I take you now to the arena of the One. There you may fall, or you may rise. So it begins. The first Godwoken to enter the wellspring becomes divine. May the new divine be worthy. For the rest, may she have mercy on your soul. To the wellspring. Begin.
So good of you to come, Godwoken. You know, you are many things, but above all, you are reliable. Reliable to the point of being predictable. You came to the wellspring. I followed. The Lady Vengeance is, after all, my ship. And now here we all are.
It is time, mistress.
She gives you a long and steady look, as if it is the last time you shall see each other for the rest of eternity. Then she dips her chin in acknowledgement. You are almost her equal.
Yes, Wiedemann. It is time.
She raises the Aetherin. Like a divining rod to water, it seeks the wellspring and finds it. The device hums to life.
We are done, mistress.
Yes, Wiedemann, we are done. And so too, Godwoken, are you. Soon you shall be little more than relics of a bygone time, and this place shall be your tomb. Goodbye.
It might be wise to look for a way out of here.
Really? Do you think so?
The ritual has failed. The structure lies in ruins, but you have at least survived. You should feel relief, disappointment, confusion, anything but the rage that wells up from deep within you. The rage grows, burning hotter than the volcano itself, tearing at you, seeking to overpower your senses. The red mist wants to descend. The red mist feels like it does not belong to you. The red mist feels alive. And it wants you. A familiar figure materializes before you. A copy of yourself, enraged. Your own face glowers at you in hateful fury. It opens its mouth. And your furious god begins to speak.
You failure. You nobody. You weakling. Look me in the eye. I am Relic. I am god of this world. All that you are is mine. It shall be mine once more. Yield. Surrender yourself to your god, that he may right your wrong. Yield to Relic, that he may be god of Rivellon. If you won't yield by your own will, you will yield by mine. Yield to me! If you won't...
I am the last. I am the one. You are nothing.
Controlling it is dead by your hand. Lava roils as earthquakes rumble around you. Shockwaves of sound pierce the air, the growl of shifting ground. Suddenly, a voice echoes in your mind. It's Melody. Where the hell are you, she calls. Find my beacon. We need to get out of here now. Her voice crackles and dissipates in your mind.
I guess when I said never again, I really meant once or twice more. Okay. 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 Hall of Echoes once more. Our home away from home. Close indeed. You almost became a god, and instead you're still... you. At least you managed to murder one of the 7. Quite the spectacle. I've never seen anything so... Let's talk about this later. I need to rest. We've still one big jump to go, but... it'll have to wait.
She casts her gaze around, taking in the streaming bluish ether. She breathes a deep, ragged breath.
At least, it's quite beautiful here, isn't it? I'm going to take a rest, sort myself out. I suggest you do the same. Speak to the ship if you need me. She'll know where to find me. This may be your last bit of respite before the storm blows in again, Godwoken. Enjoy it. You deserve that much.
Gareth's head is steady, but his face is pale and his eyes are lost.
We still have a mission, Godwoken. You must ascend. I will see it through.
The day was lost, and no one won. Divinity is still up for grabs. Will you be the one to grab it? I do so wonder. I did. She's quite graciously taking us to demon-haunted arcs. Our pursuits align and continue. Naught but the demon I'm hunting. A trivial task, really, compared to your current pursuits of divinity.
After all that's just happened, life, every flawed morsel of it, seems more precious to you than ever. You look around at those who have accompanied you so far. In each one, something unique shines through. Divinity has eluded you so far, but humanity beats strong within you, here and now. Who knows what lies ahead for you, for your companions? Your quest failed. The void is growing stronger, and the hall is dark. You feel the need for some affection. Perhaps they feel it too.
Alone? Together? You and me? I love that. Lead the way, Chief.
As you move to go below decks, the live wood creaks and groans. The steps you thought you knew lead you to a part of the ship you've never seen before. A newly carved nook that smells of resin and wood chips. Touching the wall beneath your fingers, the live wood hums at your touch. You understand that the Lady Vengeance has carved this space for you in gratitude for your help. You enter and feel the presence of the ship recede, offering you the total privacy of a moment alone with your companion. The first moment you have been truly alone together.
Would you get a load of this place?
She saunters around the room, inspecting it like she plans to move in. She tosses her head over her shoulder and calls out to you in an affected tone.
I suppose it will do, darling.
Her face cracks into a smile, then a laugh.
So, what should we do? Wait, don't answer that.
She digs into her pack, skipping over to you, and sits on the ground at your feet, then tugs your hand for you to sit on the ground too. She sets an empty bottle on the ground between you and looks at you impishly.
Let's play a game. Don't worry, it's easy. It's called Spout's Choice. We each take a turn spinning this here bottle, and whoever the spout points to, well, I'll explain that part when we get there. You can go first.
She takes your hand and places it on the bottle, on its side between you.
Go on, spin.
The bottle swishes in circles as it spins. Lohse watches it intently as it lands, pointing directly at her. She smiles and blushes.
Well, in this game, you're meant to plant one on whoever the bottle lands on.
She flutters her eyelashes in exaggerated coquettishness, her blush deepening. She kisses you back, gently, more gently than you expected, then leans away, flushed with color.
My. My turn.
She spins the bottle, and it twirls and twirls, and comes to a rest, pointing into a no-man's land to the left of your knee. She doesn't lift her eyes from the bottle, but quickly corrects it to face you. She looks up then, drawing an arc with her eyes from the bottle's tip to your gaze. Her dark eyes are deeper, lusher than ever before.
Hey, Chief.
She crawls across the space between you and climbs into your lap, wrapping her legs around you. She melts into you and nuzzles her face into the crook of your neck. Her body is warm, warmer than it should be, her weight comforting and solid against you. She speaks into your neck, her lips brushing against your skin.
Chief, look, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. I don't know if we'll find Dallas. I don't know which one of us is going to, you know, all the stuff they say we'll do. I don't even know if I'm still going to be myself much longer. But I do know that I'm happier now than I've ever been in my life. You make me feel like I have a voice. Like I'm not just a host. Like I'm a real person. I need to tell you something. The thing is, well, you know, when two people get to know each other pretty well, it's just, I love you.
A sparkle flashes into her eye. She grinds her hips against yours a fraction of an inch and leans in to whisper in your ear.
Here I am. My whole heart is yours. Just yours. But if you're saying I can only have your body, well, it's a start. Oh, I've wanted you for so long. I've wanted you like this for so long.
She grins and takes your chin softly in her hand, parting your lips. She comes close to your mouth, so close, then licks your lips, once, twice, and kisses you softly, soft as your first time, then harder, deeper, her tongue swirling around yours. She tugs at your clothes and growls in your ear.
Get these off.
She sits up on her knees, still straddling your hips, and shimmies out of every last article of clothing. Her body is smooth and soft, flesh dipping generously beneath your hands. You could take handful after handful of her and never have enough.
Here I am, all of me, and I want all of you.
Her heavy eyelids flutter. She reaches across your body, peeling clothes off you until you're both bare, just the two of you. She moves her body slowly, slowly, slowly over yours, until you are one person, the surprise of it, the perfection of it making you both gasp. She moves in small circles, your bodies joined like they were made for each other, like they were never meant to be apart.
Oh, you're perfect. You're perfect.
She smiles and moves faster, harder. Sweat glistens across her collarbone.
Like this?
She keeps the pace, her eyes locked with yours, a half-drugged smile on her lips.
This is it. This is my cure. You're my cure.
You are one in the night, one great, beautiful being, your bodies aching with desire where they touch, your mind ablaze, your souls entwined, growing great, greater, greater, greater.
How could I have gone this long without you?
In this infinite moment, it feels you'll never be apart again. Lohse yawns and stretches, arching her whole body like a cat. She folds into you, her head on your chest, arm draped around your body.
I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life, you know. However long that is.
She looks up at you, a look of slight disbelief on her face, then lowers her head again. You feel a little damp spot on your chest where a single tear has fallen.
You and me, Chief. We got this. So, I guess we should get back out there. Save the realm, stop the void, blah blah blah. You have no idea how much I needed that.
She plants a quick kiss on your lips and a bite on your neck.
Let's get out of here, Chief. Hey, Chief. You ready to get out of here? Malady said something about the ship's figurehead, didn't she? Hey now, let's keep it professional and everything. We're still God-woken on a mission, aren't we? Though, after experiencing that thing you did with your tongue, I guess I know who the real god among mortals is.
Just say the word, and our journey shall continue.
Yes, I am sorry. She had me built to her exact designs. Not even I know all the ways in which she can control me. She was able to follow my wake like a shark. But I will see myself destroyed rather than be forced to betray you again. I swear.
It shall be done.
Malady's face is drawn. She seems tired, somewhat subdued. She looks you over and squints.
What's wrong with you? You seem happy. It's written all over you. In truth, I'm glad to see it. A joyful God is a just God. I've had some time to think, and there's a few matters I want to discuss before we carry on. I doubt you've forgotten the death of Meister Siva.
She swallows hard and closes her eyes for a moment, as though trying to dispel a dizzy spell.
She and I had a deal, you see. A deal that's now quite obviously defunct. According to its terms, I was to help you ascend to divinity, and she was to help me with another matter. The details aren't important now, it's just... never mind. Another entangling alliance. But I won't be able to disentangle it on my own. There may come a time when I need to count on you as an ally. So, are we? Allies, that is. The details are detailed. Suffice it to say that Meister Siva believed she could help me. And I believe you're twice the sorcerer she ever was. So? That's something I don't often hear. Thank you. Really. Moving on. I found out where Dallas is heading. There's a great city not far from Driftwood, Arx by name. It's controlled by Magisters, so you'll have your work cut out for you. We have to find out what she's planning to do with the powers of the Seven. You'll need to find her and take back what she stole, and quickly, before she does something irreversible. Dallas, or any of the others for that matter, cannot be allowed to use the powers of the gods. She doesn't understand what must be done. She doesn't understand how to rule. It's quite simple, really. Chaos is a fact of life, surer than any other. Power is one of the few structures that can cut a line through that chaos. If wielded well, that line will mean stability, order, a comfort against the unknowable, changing forces of chaos. If wielded poorly, the line will mean domination, terror, different from chaos, but no better. Dallas, and the others like her, Alexander, the Mother Tree, the Prince of Shadows, they are little better than demons, really. They seek power at the expense of others, not to create stability, but to create servants. Look at my face, Godwoken. What do you see? I suppose we all see what we want to see. When I look in the mirror, I see balance. Balance between darkness and light, between good and evil, whatever those categories mean. When the time comes for you to ascend, remember my face. Remember that despite any shortcomings you might have, if you can bring a semblance of balance to the world, you'll have done as good as the Seven did. And if you can be stronger than them, you'll do all the better. The Seven are gone, slain by their Godwoken, slain by you. You have the potential, the obligation even, to do better than they did. To create a better world than the world they made. I know what evil is, Godwoken. I've seen what chaos can do. It isn't how I picture Rivellon's future. You are my insurance against that. Now, there's little time to spare. We need to get you to Arx, find Dallas, take back what she stole. Shall we go? Very good. How lucky for you I'm on your side. I'm probably the only one masterful enough to transport an entire ship safely between the land of the dead and the land of the living. Captain Malady stands at the ready.
After the briefest moment of respite, Malady brought the Godwoken to Arx to recover the divine powers Dallas had snatched away. But the half-demon's secret was taking its toll on her.
Lucius! Fools! The bastard's going to ruin everything!